Okay, so basically today we're just going to do a quick how-to on how I made my speaker cables. I'm starting with this 14 gauge monster cable, black platinum. It's just some stuff I had laying around. It's what I've been using. First thing you got to do is get all your measurements right. So I start with my connectors. I got some Seawell connectors. I'll post a link for those. I actually want to get a different style. Don't really like the finish on the back end of these, but they're pretty simple to use. Just simply unscrew them. I know that they go to the base here. I don't know if you can really see that. So my wire pants are going to end right about there. Take my wire pants, and I know that the wire pants, the Y is going to start right there. So I'll go back about halfway and I'll cut the shielding off. Now on these particular wires there's this little piece of nylon, so I'll just go ahead and take a pair of scissors, cut that off. So next I go ahead and add the nylon. The one mistake I made with this is I bought, this is a 1/4 inch PET braided sleeving. I should have went to a slightly larger size, 3/8 or 1/2 inch. So it would have been a little bit easier had I got the correct size. This stuff's kind of made like a Chinese finger trap, so you got to push into it. You see it expands when you push it. So I pinch and pull. I'm not going to run this all the way down just because this is kind of just an example. That's pretty close though. Now what I like to do is I pull just slightly to where it's I like to pull my sleeve just a little bit past the outer sleeve here. So I'll pull that back right about there, and then you just work it to get it nice and tight. Just keep pulling it onto the wire. That. So then now I'm using this 3-to-1 double wall adhesive lined shrink tubing. I once again bought the wrong size. This is 1/4 inch. Would have been a lot less difficult to install had I got the next size up, but it's part of the learning process. So because it's so small, I have to feed the little pieces into it. This stuff frays rather quickly. So once I got the shrink wrap, I kind of feel for the end of the outer tubing on the wire. That tubing is what gives it the CL3 rating for in-wall installations. I just kind of push it back in. Apply some heat. There's a lot better things to use than a lighter. That's what I use. Once it's nice and snug, I go ahead and trim this. Of course, it's kind of difficult because I'm left-handed and most scissors are right-handed scissors. Then once I have it trimmed, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of heat too to just sear those ends. And then I'm ready to install the cable pants. Cable pants are really simple. I've already had them on once. One thing I like to do, I'm a little bit OCD on things, so I always make sure that the negative cable that I'm going to use is on my right side. Red is right. That's just how I remember it. With this particular wire, there's a darker color and a lighter color, so I use a darker color always for my red. So once the cable pants are lined up, it's time for the connectors. So once again, we're ready for the connectors. I'll go ahead and strip the wire. I've noticed on some of this stuff, it's kind of got like a double sleeve on the wire. So I gotta make sure to get all that peeled back. I give it a good twist. This is 14 gauge wire. And with that, AC wells are nice enough to send you a perfect little screwdriver for the screw posts. If you notice, I made these twice as long. I didn't mention that earlier, but I do that because I always fold them in half because there's lots of space in these connectors. And then tighten them up. One thing I noticed with this shrink tubing, it is adhesive backed, so sometimes just a little bit of water, or in my case I use spit, put on it, helps it slide on. I don't think this is necessarily a have to. I like to do it. I think it gives it a little bit better finished product, maybe a little bit more protection, who knows. I slide this on. Once I have it about halfway, even, once again, add the heat. Screw on the outside part, the connector, and that's it. Your end result, fairly decent looking speaker cable, 14 gauge, oxygen free. Save you a lot of money, especially in custom links.